Hi there, welcome back to my channel. So what we are gonna do today is unbox and review eyeshadow palette. It's gonna be a three-part video so that the videos are not too long, and I'll cover one palette per video. In these videos you'll find out how these palettes are and if you should get them and which palette is best suited for you. I have already reviewed and created a pink glam makeup look with the Pink Paradise palette. So if you guys want to find out how that palette performs, then do check those videos out. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to get notified each time I upload a video. So the Lakme Absolute Infinity Eyeshadow Palettes has a range of 4 eyeshadow palettes and I possess 3 of them. I have the Pink Paradise palette, which is a pink themed palette, the Coral Sunset palette, which is an orange themed palette, and the Midnight Magic palette, which is a dark themed palette. These retail for ₹9.95, but currently they are sold on a 40% discount on Nykaa, which is where I got these from. And in this video I'm gonna be unboxing and reviewing the Coral Sunset palette. And now let's get started. So this is the Lakme Absolute Infinity Eyeshadow Palette Coral Sunset, and these palettes come in these cute cardboard boxes which matches the theme of the palette, and each box is unique. So this is how the box of the Coral Sunset palette looks, and at the back of the box you'd find a brief description of the palette and an easy eyeshadow look to try for makeup beginners. And now let's finally unbox and see how the palette looks. So the palette itself looks pretty basic. Inside you do get a thin strip of mirror along with a sponge tip applicator which comes handy while applying shimmers. The colors look pretty at a glance, and the video of the full glam makeup look that I created with this palette would be up on my channel soon. These eyeshadows have names that are mentioned at the back of the palette along with the texture of the shade. So let's take a look at the shades and their names. So from left to right, top to bottom, top row: Holiday, Matte, Peachy, Matte, Dusk, Matte, Suntan, Matte, Horizon, Shimmer, Boulevard, Shimmer. Bottom row: Beirut, Shimmer, Resort, Shimmer, Castaway, Matte, Voyage, Matte, Azure, Shimmer, and Emerald, Shimmer. The Coral Sunset palette is a very peachy corally themed palette. Most of the shades are very peachy with 3 complementary shades to make the palette a little versatile. So there is also a matte wine shade, a shimmery powder blue, and a shimmery moss green shade. The shade range is good, but given that it's a coral themed palette, I expected at least one matte coral shade, which is missing. And now let's get swatching. Holiday is a nude beige matte shade. Peachy is a peachy nude matte shade. Dusk is another flesh toned matte shade, and Suntan is a terracotta matte shade. And now let's swatch these and see how they look. Okay, so the first shade, Holiday, is not pigmented at all and very chalky. Then Peachy is not very pigmented either, and so isn't Dusk. And Suntan is a little more pigmented than the previous 3, but so far the swatches don't look promising at all. But do remember guys that you can't really judge a palette based on hand swatches. Poor hand swatches don't always mean poor performance on the eyes, so the final judgment would be always based on how they perform on the eyes. And now let's swatch the next 4 shades. So Horizon is a reddish coral shimmer shade. Boulevard is a champagne shimmer shade. Beirut is a flesh toned shimmer shade, and Resort is a light corally shimmer shade. Horizon is a shimmer, but strangely on hand swatching it doesn't look shimmery at all, but the pigmentation seems pretty good. Boulevard looks like a basic golden shimmer. Beirut is a pretty flesh toned shimmer, and Resort is a pretty light corally shimmer. The shimmer shades are not too shimmery, but they're decently pigmented. So this is how the swatches look from another angle. And now to the last 4 shades. Castaway is a corally red matte shade. Voyage is a dark wine matte shade. Azure is a light powder blue shimmer shade, and Emerald is a moss green shimmer shade. And now let's see how the hand swatches look. So Castaway is pigmented and it looks like a bright coral red. Voyage is decently pigmented and it looks like a proper wine. Azure is pretty powder blue shimmer, and Emerald is hardly shimmery. It looks more matte, but pigmentation is good. And the shade is more moss green than Emerald. So these are all the swatches, and don't forget to get a sneak peek of the full glam festive makeup look that I created with this palette, included at the end of this video. The full glam makeup look that I created with this Coral Sunset palette would be up on my channel soon. So I created this look with this palette. And now let's talk about this palette a bit. So this is what I came up with. I do love the shades, they're very pretty. As an everyday palette, this is not bad. And now let's talk about the eyeshadows and how they work. So based on my initial feelings after using this palette once, these eyeshadows are moderately pigmented. The first three shades are powdery and not much pigmented at all. The rest of the shades are moderately pigmented, while Castaway, the coral red, and Voyage, the wine, is well pigmented. Texture wise, they're pretty okay. The light matte shades are powdery, the dark shades are not powdery. The shimmer shades are moderate, not very shimmery, while Horizon, the reddish coral, and Emerald is not shimmery enough. On the eyes, they do not go on patchy, they are easy to blend. You have to work a little to make the three lighter colors show up on the eyes. However, you do get a lot of kickbacks in the pan and fallouts, which happens with a lot of palettes. All in all, it's a nice palette. The colors are good for everyday wear. So if you're looking for a good palette for everyday, you can check this one out. Especially now that there is a 40% discount on these palettes on Nykaa at present. So you get these palettes for $5.99 only, which is a good deal. So this is the Coral Sunset palette, which is good for everyday wear if you like nude colors. Then there's the Pink Paradise palette, which is the pink themed palette, and the Midnight Magic palette, which is a dark smoky palette, which is good for evening looks. So I've already reviewed the Pink Paradise palette, so if you haven't watched that yet, go check that out. And I've also created a pink glam makeup look with the Pink Paradise palette. If you're interested, you can check that out too. And if you like to watch my videos and haven't subscribed yet, please do, so that I can continue making more videos like this one. Plus it's free, you know. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload. And this concludes this video. Hope to see you in my next video. Till then, bye. Take care.